Welcome back, and then we're going to keep continuing to create our parts for our trolley wheel assembly. And in this video we're going to take a look at doing the spindle. And the spindle is located here. Let me kind of center this up a little bit. And as you can see in this one, we're going to use the revolve command. Although you can use some other ones, the revolve will be really quick. And you can also see that we have some kind of channel going through here that we're going to create with some holes. Alright, so let's go ahead and switch over to Inventor and get started. So remember that these are all created in millimeters. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and hit the new button here. And it should bring open a dialog box that's going to allow you to select what type of units that you want to use. By default, or if this is the first time you use Inventor, it'll typically look like this, but if you just expand the folder, go to metric, and once again we're going to use the standard millimeter IPT. Alright, so once you double click on that, or you can single click and hit the create button like I just done, give it a little bit and you'll start seeing that Inventor will load up, and usually it takes about, no more than 15 to 20 seconds here. Alright, so once it's loaded, remember we got to start off by creating a sketch. And I'm going to do that by selecting this top icon. And what this top icon is telling me that I'm going to start a 2D sketch. So long as these words say start 2D sketch, just go ahead and click on the top icon there. Now it's asking me to select the plane that I want to work on. I'm going to use the XY plane in this case. You're going to see Inventor roll around. It should give me a center dot here. And then my ribbon at the top should change. Alright, so here what we're going to do is we're going to start off by creating this line here that's measured at 100. And from that you're going to see me kind of build up and kind of create some of these sides. So the first line you're going to see me create is going to be 100. Remember that when you're doing the revolve command, think about doing only half of the shape that you're going to need. So as you see me do this, and if you saw me do the roller, then you will see how that looks when you just create half of this and then revolve it. Okay, so I'm going to start with the line command. And like I said before, I'm going to create this line. And once I get it horizontal, I'll go ahead and type in the distance that I want it. And it's going to be 100. Okay, I like to usually hit the escape button and zoom out a little bit. Now I want to put the center of this horizontal line on the center point here. So I'm going to use the coincidence constraint. I'm going to go find the midpoint, select the green dot, and then select the yellow dot. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this line here into a center line. So go ahead and select that line. Choose the center line option. And then with the rest of this, we're just going to kind of create these other lines and shapes, and then we'll start putting the dimensions on. So I'm going to go line, and I'm kind of freehand sketch this. If you want to be accurate with it, you can, but I need to put diameter dimensions on this, so therefore I'm just going to kind of freehand sketch it. So I know it looks like this, and it kind of creates this shape here. And finally, when it lines up there, I'll go ahead and click it. Alright, I know that this side and this side should be horizontal or collinear to each other. And I'm getting that information from here. It's telling me that each one of these diameters have a diameter of 12. So therefore these lines must be collinear to each other. Also, I'm going to set this distance of 17 and 66. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set these two lines collinear to each other. I'm going to choose the collinear constraint. Select this line and then select this line. Now you can see that it's telling me that it's over constraint, which is a very good thing in this case. So that means that when I line those up, it automatically put those there for me. So I'm happy with that. That's a good way of just verifying it. Next, let's go ahead and put the dimensions on here. So I'll go to the dimension. I'm going to select my center line, and it doesn't matter which order you select these in. And then I'm going to select this line, and then I'm going to come and place the dimension. Type in 12, enter. Do the same with this one. So I'm going to select this line, and then my center line. I'm going to place the dimension, and this one will be 20. Go back to the dimension. I'm going to place this dimension at 17. And then this dimension is 66. All right, if I look down at the bottom right, I see that my shape is fully constrained. Let's go ahead and finish the sketch. Zoom out just a hair. Revolve. And it should automatically pick up everything that I need to revolve this, since I only have one axis, and then I have the shape. So it went ahead and created my shape that I needed. I'll go ahead and hit OK. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put the hole that's running through the middle of this. And I'll save the chamfers for last, so I'll just go and do the hole. I don't need to put a sketch there and make a center point, although you could and it wouldn't hurt it. But I'm just going to use the hole command. Select this face. And then I need to give it a concentric reference, which is going to be that circle. Alright, so now I need to give it its size. Right now it's reading that the size of this thing, let me go ahead and turn it back on a regular hole, I'm sorry. So I'm going to just use a regular hole. The diameter of my hole, it tells me on the drawing that it is 5.1. So you can see that I have that. And it also gives me a distance of how far that hole is. If we do a little simple math of this, we should be able to figure out that that distance should be 50. Alright, so I'm going to tell it that I need to give it a distance. I'm going to give it the distance, which is going to be 50. And now it's asking me, do I need the drill point or do I need it flat at the bottom? And in this case, it really doesn't matter. The other hole should cover it up. So let's just go ahead and make this one flat. Hit OK. And now I need to drill a hole going through the top of this. So the way that I'm going to do this is that I need to set up a work plane for it. I'm going to choose origin. And then I'm going to find a plane that I want to be parallel to it. So I'm going to select the XZ plane. I'm going to select the word plane. And then I'm going to select just the top of my cylinder. Once you have that, go ahead and select the yellow line that's on my plane here. Then I'm going to select the create sketch constraint. Or option, I should say. Next, I'll choose the point. Select my yellow dot here. Finish sketch. Let's go back to the hole command. And once I do this, it should automatically pick the hole, and it's assuming that I want to do the exact same hole that I did the last time. But in this case, we do have the length that we need to do. It's going to be 14. And this one also has a drill point at the bottom of it. So when I switch back to the PDF and show you this, you should be able to see it. Alright, I'll go ahead and hit OK. Let's go ahead and take a look at this from the front side. I'm going to turn this plane off. One quick way of doing that is selecting this yellow line, do a right click, and then select the word visibility, and it should turn it off. Another thing I want to do is I want to be able to take a look and see through this and see if it did exactly what I want. So I'm going to go to the view option here. And then underneath my visual styles, right now it says shade it with edges. So if I go ahead and make it something like a wireframe or some of that nature, I can take a look and see that that is indeed what I created here. I'm going to go ahead and put that back on shaded with edges. Let's go back to the 3D modeling tab. And then we'll do the finishing one on this one. So let's go ahead and choose chamfer. My chamfer should be a 2 millimeters. And that's going to be right. And it's reading it as a 45 degrees. And according to the PDF, that's what it is. So I'm going to go click that edge and then this edge and hit OK. Alright, so kind of looking back at everything, you can see where I got some of these numbers from. When I wanted to go down, that number of 14 is sitting here. Both of those hole sizes I did get for 5.1. And then this overall diameter of my larger cylinder here was indeed 20. The way that I came up with the 50 was from coming from this edge is I added the 17 plus the 33. That gave me my 50. And then finally, I have this chamfer on both edges. Alright, so that should be everything that I needed to complete the spindle. And I got all of my dimensions accounted for. Alright, so one of the last things I like to do is put this in an isometric. Let's go ahead and make sure we save this one. And we're going to call it the spindle. And this one is complete. So if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and like and subscribe and leave me a comment on anything that may be confusing or maybe something that I did wrong. All right, so I want you to have a great day and thank you for watching this one.